What's going on, family? Patty Lifts, WNBF Pro Natural Physique competitor, checking in today, and I'm really excited to take you through my 5 top tips for gaining weight for hard gainers. So let's get it started off by giving you a quick backstory where I first started my fitness journey. I was actually 126 pounds graduating high school, and right now I'm around 195 to 200 pounds. And I'll show you guys here so you can see the difference between it. It took me a little bit over 7 years to achieve the physique that I have achieved, but I feel like if I implemented these 5 tips right off the bat, I could shorten that time and make sure I'm more optimizing my time in between the transformation. So let's get it started with tip number 1, is to actually focus on volume over time. And what you want to do is track the amount of volume you're doing per workout, per week, and trying to progress that amount of volume week to week. So I'm going to start off by saying the 3 mechanisms for muscle hypertrophy are mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. Where the number 1 is mechanical tension, we want to focus on volume. So all you have to do to focus on volume is count your sets times your reps times the load actually lifted in the gym. So if you add up your volume per day and you add up your volume per week, you want to make sure in the long run you're going to be adding volume over time, which is going to lead to more mechanical tension. So one easy way to do this is to literally track your workouts, take out a pad, track it in your phone and your notepad, and just track everything that you're doing. And then over time, look back at the pad and see, okay, where can I increase my volume? And you can do different things. You can add reps, you can add sets, or you can increase the load, which leads me into tip number 2. And tip number 2 is focusing on progressive overload. So progressive overload is where you actually increase the weight you perform over time. So let's say I'm doing 3 sets of 10 with 100 pounds and it felt fairly easy. Maybe the week after, I'll be doing 3 sets of 10 with 105 pounds. And that's where you're gonna progressively overload. You're gonna add a new stimulus. You're getting a lot stronger. And you're gonna be adding all 3 of mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress when you are in the higher rep ranges. So focus on progressing in the gym. So if you feel like you're always going to the lat pull down, you're always just putting 100, next time try the 110. Next time try the 130, and eventually add weight over time. I know a lot of people get stagnant, they get into a routine, they just do the same thing over and over again, and you can't expect different results if you're doing the same thing over and over again. You gotta make that change in the gym to make the change on your body, if that makes sense. This one leads me into tip number 3, and it's going to be increasing frequency. So what I mean by that is that if you're doing a bro split, you're gonna be hitting everything once per week. If you implement a push-pull legs, you'll be hitting everything twice a week, where I feel like twice a week is optimal. I'm looking into the research a little bit deeper. There has been a lot of studies on higher frequencies, but overall, I feel like the research is strongest hitting everything twice per week. With that being said, protein synthesis only lasts for up to 48 hours. So once you hit chest, then you hit push and legs. After that, the 48 hours has passed, so you can restart protein synthesis again by hitting that body part again throughout the week. Instead of, if you're just hitting it once a week, protein synthesis will happen for 48 hours, and then you have another 5 days of where your body's not growing. So I always want to make sure your body is in an anabolic state, and increasing the frequency can help. Where my personal high frequency split is actually push-pull legs, upper lower, and then this will allow for 2 rest days per week. The next tip is going to be switch up your rep ranges. So a lot of the time, people just follow 8 to 12 reps, or they stick to 10 reps just because those are the hypertrophy ranges. Yes, they are, and for the most part, you do want to stick to those ranges, but you do want to switch things up. So I'm going to contradict myself here and say maybe you should go a little bit heavier and hit sets of 5 reps. Yes, in the short term, you're going to be performing less volume because the reps are a little bit lower, but you're gonna get stronger and you're gonna be able to move more load once you go back up to the higher rep ranges. And then if you wanna focus more on metabolic work, you can focus on reps in the 20 rep range, even 30 rep range, and then switch your reps up. So eventually your body's gonna get used to a certain rep range. I don't wanna say confuse the body. All you're doing is changing the stimulus and adjusting the rep ranges, where lower reps will work more of the central nervous system, helping you be more efficient and activate more muscle fibers. And then the very high rep ranges will be more focusing on metabolic stress, but you can implement all rep ranges to help you increase muscle mass, where volume is what matters most over time. And my last tip number 5, is to change your routine every single month. So research shows that your body gets used to a certain workout routine after 4 to 6 weeks. So if you switch up your routine every month, you're gonna combat that and switch things up before your body can actually get used to a new routine. A big example here is every time you start a new workout plan, you always see results when you first start it, but eventually those results start to slow down, progress slows down a lot, where you need to switch things up again. You don't wanna get stagnant and get into a routine where you're just running through the motions, doing the same thing every single time you go into the gym. So switch up your entire routine every single month, and then you can be sure that you're gonna be progressing over time. And if you wanna get more advanced, you can look more into periodization on how you actually structure your workout plans, how you structure your progression, because overall, in my personal opinion, the thing that matters most in a practical standpoint, as an online coach, as a competitor in powerlifting and in bodybuilding, it's volume over time with a mix of progressive overload. Because there is a line. I could go in there with a 5-pound dumbbell and do 1,000 reps and get a lot of volume from my biceps, but I feel like that stimulus isn't enough, where you do want to focus on progressive overload and shooting for volume over time. If you can follow these tips, I can assure you that you are going to progress a lot faster, especially to you hard gainers out there. You need to make sure you're following a structured program. You're actually methodically going into the gym and going in there with a purpose and training for muscle hypertrophy versus just going in there and throwing weights around. So other than that, guys, I really appreciate you checking in. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by liking the video, and please share one tip on how you feel like you can improve your training to help out other people in the comment section below. Other than that, subscribe if you're not part of the team, and I'll see you guys next time with 5 tips on how to gain weight, the nutrition edition. I don't know why I'm so awkward when I end these videos, but I'll see you guys soon.